Welcome back, guys. In my last video, I discussed a specific type of turnaround, and turnarounds often bring up the topic of intros. So today, let's talk about a standard and very important way of beginning blues songs known as taking it from the 5. As its name suggests, this is basically playing the last 4 measures of a standard blues progression. In measure 9, that's where the 5 chord occurs, so we're taking it from there. Now, the most important thing to remember when you're playing an intro is that whatever you play has to set the mood and the tone for the rest of the song. So it's typically not the best place to pull out your flashiest licks. Simple is usually better in a blues intro. And nobody could play flashier than Stevie Ray Vaughan when he wanted to. But even Stevie laid back in his intros and just set the mood. So let's check out one of his classic songs, Love Struck Baby, where he takes it from the 5. Let's not get too deep into the theory with this lesson, but let's just quickly check out what Stevie Ray Vaughan does to establish the excitement and the mood for the track. So, it's a 12-bar blues in A. A7 is our 1 chord, D7 is our 4 chord, and E7 is our 5 chord. And he outlines these perfectly in the intro, taking it from the 5 and E7. Notice how these are not flashy licks. And it establishes that upbeat 8th note groove nicely too. And notice that E7 at the end that really begs for that 1 chord at the head of the verse again. Now, let's check out another very classic example from Freddy King, I'm Tore Down. This is a great example of not needing to write new material to create a great intro. The rhythm section just simply plays the basic groove found throughout the rest of the track and starts it on the 5 chord. And Freddy King plays lines very similar to what's heard throughout the rest of the track to establish the mood. So this is a 12-bar blues in D this time. So D7 is our 1 chord, G7 is our 4 chord, and A7 is our 5 chord. The rhythm section plays something akin to this. And let's just check out Freddie's lines that are so effective. Notice that sophisticated stripped down voicing of an A9 in that first measure, and that's all he really plays over top of that chord. And coming into our G7, all that we're doing is playing around with the flat 7 in the root, and then our 1 chord, it's just a slinky little D minor pentatonic with the inclusion of a major 6th in there. But notice how it resolves to A. That really wants to resolve to the beginning of the progression at the head of the verse. Let's look at one more example, Danny Gatton's Blues Newburgh. This is a unique intro in that it was specifically written for this tune. Now, Blues Newburgh is a very jazz blues influenced progression. So throughout the rest of the song, measures 9, 10, and 11 look like this. Notice that E minor, A7, D7, it's essentially a 2-5-1 in D. However, Danny reworked the intro to reflect a very basic 5-4-1. So this reveals how important of a technique taking it from the 5 is and why it needs to be part of your vocabulary. The intro works because, again, it's not flashy licks, but a thematically strong melodic statement. He cleverly plays to each chord as they go by. Let's check out a couple of the highlights. Those chromatic double stops into the tones of the A7 are marvelous. And if you watch my last video on oblique motion turnarounds, you'll notice the use of that here at the end. He keeps D as a common tone, and voice leads that bottom note perfectly through the harmonic motion of the song. Awesome. Sets up the rest of the track. You know exactly what you're getting. The mood has been set. He was the man. Now you're aware of a great songwriting tool. Taking it from the 5 is an important and necessary part of your vocabulary. To learn more great intro writing techniques as well as theory, improv, and full songs, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. If this was informative, please also share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.